some people would say, at least she's not actually having sex with him. First of all, we don't know that. We can assume that she was.
Who cares? Who cares if she was having sex with him? She's a fucking public servant, bro. I don't care who she's having sex with. I care about the brown people that she's brutalizing. That's what I fucking care about. I don't care if she's doing it in like a girl boss way, like stomp on your balls, you know, sex with lots of men. Like, first of all, I don't even think that's really happening. She's probably just going on dates for money, because that's like the normal, that's like the normal way of going about this. Hold on. But even if she was, it's not a big deal. Like, I don't fucking care. Welcome back. Today we are looking at Tom Fo again. Unfortunately, nobody else is uploading. My Tom Fo videos never get views, bro. Nobody fucking cares about Tom Fo, goddamn. Everybody wants me to talk about Leaflet. Everybody wants me to talk about Leaflet and fucking Asmongold, and like, that's it, basically.
Another Sunday, another end to the week. And this week was pretty crazy. A lot of stuff happened, and we didn't really get to talk about everything because there was so much. I feel like we responded to some of the bigger stories, obviously, with the SPLC. So this is another reaction video. We're going to have a lot of stuff we look at, some videos. So that's what this is going to be. So we're just going to have a good time. We're going to have fun. And we're going to get right into it. So first up, Trump's counterterrorism deputy assistant, Julia Vivero, got caught in a huge, like, sugar daddy scandal. She would basically go online and look for sugar daddies to support a super, like, lavish lifestyle, buy her things, give her money. If you don't know what a sugar daddy is, it's when a young, attractive woman will give, like, attention or date or even, like, sleep with usually, like, older men who have a lot of money. And basically, they just buy her shit, they give her money, and she'll fuck them, or she'll, you know, give them attention. Because sometimes they don't even, like, fuck. That's, like normal. They'll just talk to them, or they'll go on dates, and it'll be, like, a pretty girl that's, like, with them. But this is the counterterrorism deputy assistant. And this chick is doing all this shit, and they fucking pick her. Is she kind of hot? I mean, she's kind of pretty. Yeah, she's kind of hot, but it's like, dude, really? It's like, there's so many other women you could have picked for this role. I mean, you should have picked any woman to begin with, to be honest, but like, you could have picked so many others. And, you know, people are asking, they're like, how is there not a full background investigation? How is there no, like, background check that caught wind of any of this? And here's the thing that's, like, weird about this administration. I talked about it when it came to, like, Kristi Noem and her husband, her freak of a husband who likes putting on fake tits and getting fucked by dudes, or, you know, getting, like, his ball stomped on, or whatever the fuck he was into. How the fuck are they, like, appointing these people to these positions and they don't catch any of this shit? You know, like, is this a psyop from the point of view of, like, the government's trying to make us think they don't have the NSA checking our text messages? They don't have that ability? Are they trying to trick us into thinking they can't do that? Because how the fuck are they missing these people? This is, like, obviously basic blackmail shit. Anybody could have gotten a hold of this girl and could have been like, hey, I know about your sugar daddy thing, or Kristi Noem, hey, I know about your husband, and I also know you're cheating on him with some other dude. At any point in time, somebody could have blackmailed these chicks, and who's to say that hasn't happened?
Well, it's just, it's not really a faux pas. You know, it's only like, like I was saying this when we were talking about Kristi Noem's husband. Like, it's not really good blackmail, man. So, like, it doesn't really matter. Like, oh no, they're gonna expose her fucking OnlyFans account. Not even that. Like, it wasn't even that bad. It's just like, oh yeah, she, like, goes on dates with older men for money. Wow, yeah, that's so, ugh. Oh, that's so weird. Yo, famously, no women ever do that. Yeah, man.
Who's to say that didn't happen already? With the way this administration's been going, like, who knows what the fuck is going on? But obviously, if you have to just do Occam's razor, it's like somebody is not doing their job at doing these background checks on these women. It's always like the women. It's always the dudes too. I mean, they all suck. Did they just pick people that they knew they had blackmail on just in case if they needed it for something? That's another reason. But what's going on here, bro? And they like exposed certain text messages, because I think the dude came out and he said one of the sugar daddies spent $40,000 on this chick in 3 months. What the fuck? All right, like, that's crazy. Look, is she kind of attractive? Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say that, like, I wouldn't find this chick attractive. I think most guys would, but $40,000?
I mean, it's status, you know, like, these guys probably knew who she was. She's a public servant. Like, they knew the role that she was in. That's why, man. Okay, like, obviously, she's, like, conventionally attractive, but then on top of that, she had this important role in the government.
That's why. What the fuck, dude? No, come on. Come on. Of course, that happens all the time, but it's just so pathetic. And she's like texting this dude because he was saying, oh, hey, you might lose your top secret clearance if people find out. And she's talking about how she's above being tested. She's invincible. She can't be found out. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe one of her sugar daddies is the dude who's doing the background checks. Maybe the guy who's fucking Kristi Noem's husband is the dude doing the background checks. Maybe that's why they got to slip through. But seriously, she's texting this guy saying, yeah, oh, man, they call me secretary. I like it. I'm the boss princess. And regardless of what you think, why am I talking about this? You guys might think, what does this matter? Who cares? There's two things you need to take away from this. Number one, women should not be involved in politics whatsoever. Women should not vote at all, but like at the bare minimum should not be in the administration. Any administration ever. That's number one. Number two, this is what feminism gets you. This is like the sexual revolution, women being liberated, getting to do whatever they wanted. Women don't need no man. She's independent. She's a warrior. She's a
No, wrong. This is what capitalism gets you. Feminism, as I have always maintained, and most other leftists as well, is about equality. Okay, obviously, but that doesn't mean that it's perfect. Okay, because now that women are more equal, they have a lot of the same problems that men have. Like, they need to make money. How do you make money? Well, if you're a woman, you have a few different methods for making money that men don't have. And, if you go the more traditional route and get a job that, many other men can get, then you're going to get paid like 18% less.
Boss
or
princess. She calls herself
However
a boss
much it
princess. And she still needs men to give her $40,000 in 3 months. She still needs money, resources from men. So, like, that's what feminism does. There's no amount of feminism you can have that is good in a society. It always will lead and evolve to this, which is the downfall of society. What's that book? There's like a book, and it literally has studies on civilizations, the fall of civilizations. Almost.
How is this the downfall of society? How is this what she like went on some dates for money with old men? So, society is gonna collapse. Like, come on, man. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. None of this shit matters. You realize that this argument that you're making is circular. You were saying like, oh, some of you might say, why does this matter? And then one of your reasons for it mattering is that it like matters a lot. It's gonna be like the downfall of society. Like, why? What's your reasoning? It's all just vibes with Tom Fo. That's what it always is,
sexually
man.
liberated and they're given rights in this way when there's like feminism on this way. And some people would say, oh, it's never been like this before. That's arguably worse. But usually when it happens, it almost guarantees the society's gonna collapse. It's like it always leads to that. And I mean, dude, it's what the fuck do you expect? It's like she's young, she is pretty, and it's like she's a boss princess. It all leads to this. It leads to women who are in these positions. They still have sugar daddies. They're still fucking dudes for shit. Maybe she wasn't doing it, but she was at least leading these guys on to think that. Some people would say, at least she's not actually having sex with them. First of all, we don't know that. We can assume that she was.
Who cares? Who cares if she was having sex with them? She's a fucking public servant, bro. I don't care who she's having sex with. I care about the brown people that she's brutalizing. That's what I fucking care about. I don't care if she's doing it in like a girl boss way, like stomp on your balls, sex with lots of men. Like, first of all, I don't even think that's really happening. She's probably just going on dates for money, because that's like the normal. That's like the normal way of going about this. Hold on. But even if she was, it's not a big deal. Like, I don't fucking care.
But second of all, even if she wasn't, she still has to make men think that she's that type of woman. Like, don't you get that? None of this shit, this king shit, this fucking liberation shit, none of it is good. It should all be abandoned. It has to be completely derooted from society. And it's at like the core of Western society at this point. It's pretty bad. But yeah, that's the first thing we're reacting to. So yeah, bad. And thank God they put her on administrative leave. That's great. I'm so proud that they put the sugar baby counter-terrorist assistant to the deputy director of counterterrorism. I'm glad they put her on administrative leave. That was the right decision with the fallout. But moving on to the next thing. I told you this one was going to be fun because we don't get to do this that often. Vivek Ramaswamy, Vivek Pajit III. We got this dude. We got another banger from our friend, from the Wood Elf himself, from the Oblivion Wood Elf, from that one quest line in Elder Scrolls 4.
It is pretty crazy that they put her on administrative leave, honestly. I think it only really ended up mattering because she was so, like, girl boss and brazen about it. Like, if she had just gone on some dates for money or whatever, probably nobody would have cared. But because she was like, I'm girl boss, I'm untouchable, I'm like a princess or whatever, like, all these conservatives, they hate that shit. They hate that. Okay, you cannot be a girl boss ball stomper if you are also a trad-based conservative. Okay, you can't. You can't. You can do that shit if you're a liberal. Okay, you can do it. Fucking liberals, leftists. Okay, we love that shit. We're like, hell yeah. Hell yeah, girl boss it up.
Like paranoid, and you have to meet him behind the church at midnight, and you gotta gang stalk people for him. That Wood Elf, that's what Vivek is. He's that dude. He's given us an absolute banger again, and we're gonna see what's going on.
I know you responded to that girl a few minutes ago saying that the Israeli problem is more of like a fixation than a real question that you'd like to address. But I feel like you're being slightly disingenuous.
I don't think I'm being disingenuous.
No, I just think you are.
You're entitled to your opinion. What's your question?
Thank you.
Yeah, get to the point.
Push you into this position of influence over our state and country. I want to know what you're going to do about the Israeli lobby problem and the ideals of the central. and the ideals.
Anti-Semite.
Rabbinic Judaism called the Talmud.
You're
Practices like usury,
anti-Semitic.
charging interest to strictly non-Jews are clearly intended to keep the average American and European citizen down. When the country that is our biggest ally practices and supports these ideas, it is important that I know the candidates I vote for will fight against these twisted ways that are meant to keep us down.
I disagree with the premise of your question. That's my answer.
Alright, Tom Foe is gonna say some really racist shit now. Let's hear it.
And this is an important point that related to the theme of my speech.
Keep in mind, okay, Vivek Ramaswamy is saying this, and he is a brown person. He is a brown person. How dare he?
The problem of the one-time woke left was seeing yourself as a victim of what someone else did to you. Okay, we could debate U.S. foreign policy. I think there's a lot of room, healthy room for healthy debate on the future of U.S. foreign policy, on U.S. military strategy, on how much money we're wasting in other causes that could be invested in better causes. Let's have that debate. But what I will not abide is the vilification or the mockery of anyone's faith. And I will tell you that. To pick on one faith, I'm not Jewish, but when it was the secular left mocking Christianity, I say the same thing. When it's someone else today mocking Judaism, I say the same thing. The mockery of anyone else's sincerely held faith is actually a mockery of faith itself, and that is un-American.
Okay, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. The dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. First of all, before the dude even finishes his question, he's already like up in arms, dude. He's like, I reject the premise. You're entitled to your opinion. Second of all, the question was a pretty good question. Very good question from this young man, and it's very valid. Like, this is a very valid question, and he just rejects it. That's his answer. He's like, I reject it. You're attacking their faith. This is a valid point. These people who follow the Talmud, which, by the way, a lot of people, you want to talk about foreign policy? He's like, we could talk about foreign policy. We could talk about foreign aid and wars and all this shit. Okay, well, how about this for an example? The country that is essentially dictating our foreign policy at this point in time, they follow that shit. The Talmud, they follow that shit. Even the people in Israel who are not religious, who are atheists, they still follow the Talmudic laws. So it's like, it's a very valid concern to have as an American if you are led to believe, which we are finding out, and we knew this as soon as the Iran war started. We knew it was because of Israel. Nobody was thinking, oh yeah, we need to do this for America. We knew it was because of them. And we're finding out every single fucking day since that happened, that's why it happened. Okay? We've spent, what is it, almost $40 billion on that conflict? 40 billion? Americans have already died. Tons of Americans have been wounded. We've had carriers get fucked up. The entire world was put in a chokehold with the economy. It's like, dude, that's pretty serious. And we've known. But we're finding out every day more and more evidence that it was because of Israel, and they follow that book. He's coming out, it's the damage control of, oh, you're targeting the faith, you're targeting them. Dude, that's not the point of the question, all right? The point of the question is like, look, are you actually going to do something to oppose this, or are you going to just go along with it like everybody else in this administration? That's essentially the essence of the question. You want to just get rid of all the other stuff? You don't want to talk about the Talmud? Fine. Okay, are you going to suck Israel's dick? Which we already know you are. We already know that's what you want to do. That's what you've been doing. And then he fucking goes on and he says, oh, well, if, attacking some random faith is an attack on faith itself. What the fuck does that even mean? What the fuck are you even saying? That only makes sense, to be quite honest, from somebody who either just isn't religious or doesn't really believe in faith, like, to begin with. Which means...
No, it is a very liberal thing to say. I will tell you that. I will tell you that. Oh, freedom of religion. You can't criticize Israel because then you're criticizing Jews, and if you do that, then that's an affront to freedom of religion.
That's the only way it makes sense. If you're talking about somebody who
man, it's just the way to your argument doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't. It just doesn't, because people, they don't want to hear that shit. Okay, they don't want your rhetoric. Maybe like the fucking chud cells that want to murderize all women or whatever and gay people, and they think brown people are like taking their jobs. Like, yeah, those people might hear you. And they're going to be like, oh, yeah, but we're a Christian nation, okay? But by and large, most people are fucking libs, okay? They're annoying liberals. That's what they are. They're like middle-of-the-road liberals. Maybe they lean conservative a little bit. Maybe they lean left a little bit, okay? But they're liberals. And liberals, they fucking love freedom of religion. They love that shit. They want the freedom of expression, okay? They want that. They want to be able to do that. That's it. It makes them feel good. Okay. So anyway, you when you're talking about this, it's pointless to try and be like, oh yeah, you're defending Israel because you're defending Judaism. Like, that's not it. That's not it at all. And what I was just describing is the reason why rhetorically this doesn't work. Okay, but it's also just fucking wrong. It's also just false. Israel is not the nation of Jews, it's the nation of Zionism. Okay, Zionist. That's what they're all about over there. Okay, that's it.
Is religious and has a religion and a faith. Them
nothing to
criticizing
do
some
with
other faith
Judaism.
is not on how is that an attack on faith itself, which would include themselves? That doesn't fucking make any sense. It's like a completely different worldview. If you have somebody who's an Orthodox Christian or a Catholic and they criticize a Muslim, somebody who's into Islam, or somebody who's Jewish or Hindu, a Buddhist or whatever, that isn't them attacking faith in its entirety. That doesn't make any sense at all. They have a religion that they believe in, and hopefully they follow accordingly, which would mean they live a certain lifestyle. That doesn't mean they have to accept other faiths or other religions or be okay with their practices. That's not how that works at all. In fact, there's several times in the Bible where there are people who mock other people who have false religions, and it's like that in other religions as well. That's just how it is. If it's not an attack on faith in its entirety, that's fucking retarded. That is fucking retarded. But thank God that's what Vivek thinks, because you know what, guys? My faith is I believe in killing kids. I believe in blowing up kids. And thank God that there's Vivek. He's out there and he is willing to defend my faith and my belief against you ravenous Christians, because I believe in killing kids and blowing up kids, and that's my faith. And thank God the patriot Vivek Ramaswamy is there to defend my honor. Thank you, sir. I tip my fedora in your general direction, good sir. Thank you for that. I love that. That's great. And speaking of killing kids, we're gonna go ahead and react to a video from a rabbi, a top rabbi. That's what this title is saying. I don't know who this rabbi is, but he's responding to the Pope. And a lot of you guys have wanted me to talk about the Pope and all the drama that's kind of going on with that. Essentially, the Pope is opposing war and people dying, and has been going up against the Trump administration. Trump, you know, obviously came out spurred, and then all these like fake Catholics or these people who worship Trump and MAGA and Israel more than Catholicism and Jesus, they all came out. Like Sean Hannity, he was like, I'm no longer a Catholic, and how dare the Pope, you know, get into politics.
Yeah, that was awesome, bro. I love that.
Look, it's not like he's
how dare the Pope
some
get into
on the
politics.
economy or tariffs. He's talking about war and like people dying. Like this is something that has caused the death of countless of innocents, not only of American soldiers, but of young girls with the school. And also think about all the Christian churches, the Catholic.
Okay, I mean, American soldiers aren't innocent. They're fucking soldiers, man. They're like that's not those are not innocent
in these places in like Lebanon and all these different areas that have been getting destroyed, innocent Christians getting murdered. So yeah, the Pope is going to have something to say about that. They're making it sound like he's butting into politics, like he's trying to dictate all these other things. It's like, dude, he's actually pretty valid. If anybody's going to speak on, you know, dead Christians and, you know, kids getting blown up and how that's bad, it's probably going to be the Pope. All right, so a lot of you guys wanted me to react to it, and I haven't done like a full reaction, but this rabbi had a few words to say to the Pope. Let's see what he says.
Pope Leo, who in his sermon before Easter said, had the audacity and the brazenness and the cruelty to say that all of those who wage war will be turned away by God and that their hands are dripping with blood. How dare he? His hands
How
are
dare
dripping
you?
with blood. Because he makes no distinction between good and evil. He makes no distinction between the barbarians of Hamas, the genocidal maniacs of Tehran, and the noble and brave soldiers of the state of Israel, who are defending civilization itself.
All right, I gotta stop it there. The noble soldiers of Israel. So first of all, barbarians. Let's get that straight. Second of all, you've already killed like the majority of those other barbarians. Now you're just killing kids. So you do actually have blood on your hands. That's just how it is. Now, with what the Pope's saying, with like anybody who does any type of war ever is going to get turned away from God. I don't believe that, but I'm not Catholic. But in this scenario, the war you guys are waging, which is a war nobody wants except for yourselves. Like nobody wants you to do this. Nobody wants you to blow up kids.
Oh yeah, the war just isn't. It's not good for me. That's why. Yeah, man.
Kill innocent civilians, yet you do it anyways. I don't want you blowing up Palestinians. I don't want you. Now, if you want to talk about Hamas and people that are waging war on you, sure, you can have some argument, but the problem with that argument is that you have used that as a way to overkill children and women and young men that have nothing to do with any of those things. You know,
dude, Hamas is children. Hamas is children. Most of the Hamas combatants are children. Because everyone in Gaza is a child. Because they killed everyone else. They're all children.
Such an overreach. There is no conversation or argument to be had that this is some type of self-defense. That's not what this is at all. I mean, to them, it's self-defense because everything to a Jew is self-defense. Everything to them is in defense of themselves and their own kind. And that's just how they view it. It's constantly them versus the world. And so there is no evil they can commit. They're always going to be good and noble because they're the chosen ones.
To lack the moral insight to see a difference between good and evil is to disqualify yourself from religious leadership in your essence and in your soul. Only a religious leader who has lost his soul can say such a thing. And we say today, to refute that, they are Kadoshim U'Tahorim, they are holy and they are pure, those who fell because they fell in a just war. If the brave soldiers of the IDF, together with the armed forces of the United States, are not fighting the genocidal evil of Iran, there would, God forbid, be another Holocaust.
Another Holocaust? Hey, don't tempt us with a good time. I'm just kidding you, dude! I'm just kidding! It's jokes! It's a joke. I kid, YouTube. Don't worry. Chill out. Fucking sit your ass down, YouTube. It's just jokes, right, guys? But seriously, this is just them self-projecting. Like, everything he's saying about the Pope is essentially like a reflection of how the world sees them. How the world probably sees this guy, especially how I see him. And it just goes to show, it's just performative. And that's what it is. That's like the tactic. It's the ultimate denial of reality and what's actually happening. It's like the ultimate gaslighting. And they do this over and over because it does kind of work to a certain degree on certain people. But also, you reinforce yourself with that line over and over and over. Even if you're lying to yourself, you start to believe it. Because that's what they need to do. They need to kind of motivate themselves. And that's why they do these things. It's the ultimate denial, which they've already done that before. They denied Christ when Christ came. That was the ultimate denial. That's actually when this version of Judaism was created. It started with the denial of Christ, the Son of God, God made in the flesh. That was the ultimate rejection of reality and of the truth. And so ever since
not really. Okay, it was the destruction of the Second Temple. That was the actual dawn of rabbinic Judaism.
Then whatever version of Judaism they have now, which is completely occultic and evil at this point, that's all it is. It's just based off the rejection of reality and the denial of truth. And that's why they do this over and over and over. So that there's nothing more to be said with this. He's just an idiot. But, the death of innocence, blood on your hands, and, Vivek talking about how, like, defending faith. The attack on one faith is an attack on all faith altogether, which is like, bro, like, what do you say to the people that have a faith of killing kids and how it's holy for them? Oh, it's fine for me to do these things. It's fine. And then now you're going to defend those people? Yeah, and I highly doubt Vivek Ramaswamy was, like, throwing punches when people were criticizing Christians. He might have had, like, a comment here and there, but I highly doubt this dude was going to bat for Christians and was willing to put his reputation on the line and die on some hill for Jesus. I highly doubt that ever happened, but of course he said, oh, I did it for Christians. I'm doing it for Judaism now. Fuck all these people. They suck. They suck. They're into killing kids. That's their kink. That's their faith. Vivek wants to defend it. I mean, there's nothing more to say. But moving on, we have something that happened the other day. This was a member of the TP USA staff. He quit. He wrote like a letter. He did this whole video. This whole video was like 30 minutes of him reading the letter and why he left. And it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting. He's talking about how the cause for Charlie's death and the way they say he died, all of this stuff, it's all a cover-up. None of it makes sense. And kind of going through like, what people have been theorizing about with Charlie. And I don't know if any of this is going to be taken as like proof or evidence, but it was pretty interesting because this dude, he did this video and he posted it on YouTube and it was getting shared around on X and a lot of people were going and they were subscribing to his channel trying to support him. His video got flagged for violence, which is crazy because at no point in the video does it show violence or is it a call for violence at all. Now, if you try to watch the video on YouTube, it already has an age restriction, which is crazy because the whole video is like 30 minutes and that's why I'm not really going to react to the whole thing. And the bottom line is this video isn't something that should have gotten age restricted at all. And this guy Mason, he's obviously getting attacked. It's probably by TP USA, like members or people who are loyal to that group, but it's a very interesting video and I might do a breakdown on it, but I feel like it would be way too long for this video to do it properly because it's a 30-minute video that he put out. So I'm going to put a picture of his Twitter and his YouTube right here. You guys should go check out his channel, follow him on X, give him support because this is a guy who's in a position to where he's very young and he's involved in politics, and he's involved in a political entity that is probably one of the most powerful organizations involved with the youth in America, which is a major thing. And he's involved, he's a part of it, he's working for them, and he's leaving. And he's making a video, and he's kind of like shitting on all the people that are there. So I really want you guys to go check that out. So I might do a video breaking it down, but really I just kind of wanted to make you guys aware that this happened. If you're at all interested, please check him out, please support him. But moving on to the last thing we're kind of reacting to, which was something that happened last night, which is the White House Correspondents' Dinner, the shooting that took place, where a dude ran in. I don't know if you've seen the video footage. I'm gonna see if I can put it up on the screen. A dude just runs in, bro, to the dinner with a gun. And apparently he shot a Secret Service agent, somebody who had a vest on, so nobody besides him got injured, really. And this is just crazy, dude. A lot of people I saw on X, they were saying, oh, it's a false flag. Other people were saying, there's no good photo op for Trump in any of this, so it's not a false flag. It's actually legit. And I mean, I actually don't know if this is a false flag. I think it might be kind of legit. I don't know. Because if you look at the videos are very weird. This whole thing is like just like, what the fuck? Apparently there wasn't really any good security. Not a false flag. That were there, this guy was able to get to the building and just start running with a gun.
I don't think it's a false flag. It was just really, really weird the way it happened, and none of it made any sense. Wow, genius, Tom.
Security parameters outside of the building to check this guy. Like, how did he get in? Now, obviously, we have to wait and see more information, and that's why I didn't really want to talk about this, but I feel like I have to because it just happened. Because I don't know what the fuck is going on. I feel like a lot of people don't know. We found out that the dude is like a teacher from California. He's 31. He's like a mixed black dude. I forgot his name. He's 31. He looks like he's in his 40s. Like, it's not a good 31, bro. It's brutal. He has a very weird background. Apparently, he made a video game on Steam that nobody bought or played. Maybe that's why he's so angry. Like, nobody bought and played his independent video game, and so he decided to shoot the president. But he tried to run in, and I thought he died. I was led to believe when this all transpired that they fucking just shot his ass and laid him out. And then I found that they put him in custody and he's getting charged and all this stuff afterwards. So it's very weird, dude. And that's why I don't really want to like give an opinion on it because I'm waiting for more stuff to come out because it's so random. Like, I'm showing you guys some of the videos, or at least what I could find. It's just like out of nowhere. You have that video of Vance getting pulled, Trump gets let off through the stage or whatever. He still did a speech, and he said that if they had the ballroom in the White House or something like that, this wouldn't have happened.
I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it.
So he's trying to use this as a way to, because they're always going to use something like this to gain any advantage they can. It's politics, but they want the ballroom. Like, really? That's it? You don't want better security outside in the parking lot? I feel like that was much more doable than building a ballroom that has a secret data center underneath it for Palantir, Well, I mean, that's the main reason you want the ballroom, but, like, you couldn't do the perimeter outside? Like, what the fuck is going on? It's the same thing when I was saying in the beginning. There's just something weird with this administration. They're dropping the ball with, like, the simplest shit. And, I mean, I don't know. Some of the videos are kind of funny. There's the old guy. Everybody's, like, cowering, and there's, like, an old dude who doesn't give a shit, and he's still, like, he's slowly, like, trying to eat his food, but he doesn't want to be noticed. was kind of funny. But I don't know. I mean, there was Erica Kirk. She went there with like a black dude to the dinner, and then, you know, after this all happened, she was like crying and she just wanted to go home. And everybody's saying, oh, this was so bad for her. I can't believe she has to go through this again. It's like, look, calm down, bro. I get it's kind of bad for her, but you know what? She shouldn't even be there to begin with. And we just talked about TPUSA and some of the shit that just came out with, you know, Mason, but she shouldn't even be there, bro. She shouldn't even be the CEO. I saw this report the other day. She's going to be working closer with the White House. Like, fucking why? For the midterms? That's why they're doing it, to get more of the youth vote for the midterms? Fucking why are you involved in any of this? You should be at home grieving as a widow. You should be at home taking care of your kids. That's what you should be doing as a mom. You should not be fucking running around playing Superwoman with your fucking pantsuits and your WWE fucking superstar fireworks walkout halftime show. You should be at home being a mother, okay? Who the fuck is taking care of her kids? I doubt she's traveling with them all the time.
Fuck them kids.
Am I saying she was fake crying? Some people were saying she's fake crying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I'm sure it was a weird experience for everybody who was there. I'm sure it was kind of surreal. But I'll just say this much, like, she shouldn't be there.
It was planned.
Other people I've seen on...
She was in on it.
Glazing Trump. Like, there's this one post from a dude who just sucks Trump off every fucking day on Twitter. And he was talking about how, like, oh man, everybody's freaking out because of the shooting, but not Trump. Because he has accepted his mortality and he knows that God protects him and he knows that God will not kill him until it is his time to be called to the throne. Or some bullshit. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Trump probably didn't even hear the gunshots. I saw the fucking same video, dude. Most of the people didn't hear the gunshots. Nobody started freaking out, really, until the Secret Service rushed the stage and started grabbing Trump. All right, they're like, oh, yeah, no, it's like he was a strong leader. He was the lion, all right? He was the lion. He had the aura of 1,000 lions. And Vance, he lost aura, dude. They had to drag his ass off stage. He looked like a bitch, completely auraless. Negative aura to Vance. But Trump, complete lion, complete king of the jungle, the concrete jungle. Trump himself, he's just glazing this dude. And I retweeted it. I was like, this is the gayest post so far. Because it is gay, dude. What the fuck are you even talking about? He's in his 80s, dude. He probably doesn't even know what the fuck is going on. He probably doesn't even want to be there. He's probably just like Biden at this point. He's thinking of double chocolate chip ice cream or whatever the fuck. I don't know. The whole shooting was weird. I felt like I had to add it in because, I mean, it's something that happened. We might have to do another video on it. We'll have to wait for more things to come out. I don't want to say it's a false flag at the moment. I know everybody kind of jumps to that. That's the first sign. And I mean, it would make sense. Like, anything when it comes to violence or the attempt of violence in this political climate at this point should be questioned. You should never take things at face value, and I completely agree. But this is just one of those things where it's like, I gotta have something more. Like, the videos are weird, which is already enough for me not to trust what's going on, but it's just so confusing. How the fuck did this dude just run in there? It's weird. I don't know. That's what I'll say about it so far. But we might have to revisit that later this week. So that's pretty much it. That's gonna be it for the reactions today. But there is something to be said with a lot of the stuff we talked about today. You know, with...
Well, that's nice, man. That's real nice. Well, there's still like 7 minutes left. What the fuck are you going to talk about?
What Vivek was talking about, with the shit that was going on with the sugar daddy scandal. Let it be a lesson. If there's anything you should take away from politics or from any of the stuff that's like going on right now in life, is that the people who are in charge don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, like, at all. And it's everywhere. It's not just in America. It's all over the Western countries. And that was probably the craziest realization I had growing up, was realizing adults actually don't know what the fuck they're doing. And funny enough, the first time I kind of got exposed to that, where it wasn't like a personal anecdotal experience I had, it was when I read that one book. What was it? Was it The Atomic Boy Scout? Have any of you guys read that book? If you know exactly what I'm talking about. Basically, long story short, and it's been a while since, you know, I read this book. It's been like a decade, probably longer. So I don't know if this is the best summary of the story, but essentially there was a Boy Scout who was like 15 and he was obsessed with nuclear reactors. And so he wanted to build his own nuclear reactor. And so he did just that. He built a nuclear reactor in his mom's boyfriend's tool shed. And the way he got like uranium is he would like message universities, and he would pretend to be a student from like another university or a professor from another university, and he would call them and like all this stuff, and he would pretend, and he would lie, and he'd be like, hey, I'm a student, or hey, I'm a professor, we need to borrow like some uranium, we need to borrow this, we need to borrow that. And these people, without double checking any of the shit he was saying, would send him fucking uranium in the mail. I'm like not even joking. This actually fucking happened. It was a real story. And the kid, he used lead from like pencils. He was pretty smart. Like, he wasn't stupid. He was very clever to get all this together. And he built a nuclear reactor in his tool shed, in his, you know, stepdad's, mom's boyfriend's tool shed. And obviously he was smart enough to get it running, but he wasn't smart enough to actually build a functioning, safe reactor. So what happens? It starts leaking. Radiation starts leaking at an alarming level. Long story short, the government finds out, they have to respond. And when I'm reading this book, getting into the parts where they're responding and how they're trying to kind of get a hold of the situation, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, at all. None of the adults in regards to this story knew what the fuck was happening, how to handle the situation. They tried to do as much damage control as they could. They tried to, like, you know, zone off the neighborhood that it was in and you know, kind of get it cleaned up and save the people. The mom didn't know what the fuck was happening. The boyfriend didn't know what the fuck was happening. The government didn't know what the fuck to do. The professors didn't know they were getting fucking tricked by like a 15-year-old Boy Scout. Like, no adult in the story knew how to fix or even knew how to prevent any of the series of events that transpired from the situation at all. And what ended up happening was the Boy Scout, he got like disfigured because of the radiation. His mom got cancer. Her boyfriend got cancer. They died. His brother or his sister got cancer, or his brother got cancer. Like, his siblings died. One of them commits suicide because of all the fucked up shit that was happening because of it. And then the main kid, he became an alcoholic. I think the sibling that committed suicide killed themselves on like a bridge. It's a fucked up story, dude. It's not a good story, but it's real and it happened. And reading that when I was a kid, it kind of signaled to me none of the adults knew what the fuck was going on. They didn't know what they were doing. And as you get more and more into politics and you kind of pay attention to this stuff, you realize none of these people know what they're doing. Even the people that claim, like, even the people who are like opposed to Trump, who are saying, oh, even the Democrats, they're like, you should vote for us. We're serious. They don't know what they're doing either, bro. They're all full of shit. And everyone knows they're full of shit. Everyone knows. People have been making fun of politicians being full of shit for forever. Dude, ever since politics have been a thing. That's been a thing for fucking forever, dude. In almost every civilization. And there's a documented history. There's always somebody saying, yeah, these people are fucking full of shit. That's always been the case. Because humans are just full of shit. People are just, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And everybody just kind of goes along with it because they don't know what the fuck to do either. For the amount of people that think they have some solution or they have some game plan or they have something that could fix, and I'm sure a lot of us would have ideas that would be way better. Like, obviously, first things first, stop supporting Israel. Second thing is, like, deport all the immigrants, fucking build the wall, like, let's bring industry back, let's make America a sovereign nation again. Like, obviously, there's a set of things we could change that would make it better for us. Of course. But ultimately, people are just full of shit. This administration is just full of shit. The adults are full of shit. And let these stories that we talked about today just be another example.
It's just greed, man. They just want more. They just want to get paid by their lobbyists and live comfortable little lives, okay? Get their campaign donos. That's all they fucking want. But yeah, you're right. I mean, these people, they don't know what the fuck they're doing because they have no ideological spine, okay? Like, let me put it to you this way. Okay, there are two kinds of people in politics. There are the movers and the shakers, and there are the ones that just fucking, you know, they get in their check, okay? They smile for the camera, vote for me, okay? They get reelected, uncontested every 2 years, okay? Or however long their term is. So, that just leaves the people that actually do shit. And there are people like this on both sides of the aisle. Okay? So just to reiterate, a majority of politicians, they do nothing. And then the remaining few actually do stuff. Okay? Because they have an ideology. They have a real agenda. All of these other people, it's just their job. You know, it's nothing. Or it's not even really a job. It's just like a scam. Okay, it's nothing to them. It's not their job. They have no duty. They have no responsibility. They're just relaxing. Okay? But there are a few politicians who are like you and who are like me. Okay? They have real conviction. Okay? You are a vile racist. You hate brown people. You hate women. You just like want to cause as much death and destruction to people that are different from you as possible, and it's shameful. Okay, but at least you want to do something, you know. At least you want to do something. I'll give you that. As evil and disgusting as your ideology is, at least you actually have one. At least you represent something. But there are people who want to do things, rational things, good things for the people. And let me tell you, man, it never involves deporting, building the wall. That shit's not going to do anything for any of us. That's not going to be good for us. You know what we need, man? We need healthcare. We need social services. That's what we need. We don't need any of the bullshit that you're talking about. That's it.
Drop in the buckets of, not even a bucket, it's a river of examples that just show that these people don't know what the fuck is going on. And I'll leave it at that. I've been talking too much. Obviously, different type of video. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree with any of the stuff I said? Do you like it when I make these videos? Because I actually get a lot of people that tell me they do. They enjoy them. So if you enjoyed this one, let me know. Share it with a friend. If you disagree with any of the points I talk about, let me know below. Let's see how I'm wrong. And as always, guys, subscribe to the channel. Hit the...
Your videos are trash.